there is an ad. This story pulled me into such darkness, I almost wish I never followed it. Oh my God. I can't.
Whatever you have witnessed is obviously very, very disturbing.
Namaste. 3.5 billion people use at least one of our apps every day. That blows my mind. It's more than 500 million people in India alone.
Because you are buying and looking at it is the reason why a child in the physical world is getting exploited.
Well, how do you sustain a business model in which users don't pay for your service?
Senator, we run ads.
I see.
And there's a text on the ad which says she has been unboxed and reduced to tears with a big weapon.
My opinion is they don't care about the users anywhere, which is why I quit the company.
This is a serious enough issue for the Supreme Court of India to take suo motu cognizance.
No, if Mark Zuckerberg's in charge, it's not doable.
Sir, you headed the ads business, sir. You were the director before you became head of Meta India, sir. Sir, will you please give us an answer, sir?
I think I'm done. Our social feeds are designed like narrow, endless tunnels, always enticing us to see more. Behind them are algorithms, quietly learning what captures our attention. I've spent years reporting on social media's hidden harms, but nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to discover. I wasn't looking for it. It began with this video on my feed.
आज मैंने 2 लाल अंगूर लेकर उनका रस निकाल दिया। आज मैं इन 2 नींबू को दबाकर उनका गुलाबी रस निकाल दूंगी।
As I was watching Muskan, Instagram's algorithm was watching me. It started recommending more influencers.
Everybody know I'm a good officer.
The recommendations started making me uncomfortable. The content became more explicit with every scroll. Like this. And this. And this. My feed had been replaced with videos I hadn't even searched for. How far would Instagram's algorithm go to keep me on the platform? I got a new phone for this investigation, set up an alias account, and started following these women. In less than a week, Instagram revealed its darker side. Among the influencers in revealing outfits, I saw an ad featuring fully nude men and women having sex. Instagram's guidelines say ads can't contain any nudity. But it didn't stop there. Within a few days, the ads began to feature children. Children presented in sexually suggestive scenarios alongside adults. I could hardly believe that Instagram's algorithm had shown me not just porn, but ads with child sexual abuse material. CSAM. Most ads had a clear offer. Click to get videos. The text made plain what was being sold. Mom-son, brother-sister, child video, rape video, and force video. To my horror, I didn't even have to click on these ads to get served child video. Further down the feed was an ad showing a young boy and girl, about 12, I would say, wearing school uniform and engaged in sexual acts. I wanted to look away, but I knew that I was on to something important, something illegal. To expose this, I knew I'd have to find out where those ads lead. Before I clicked on them, though, I wanted to talk to India's cyber police.
I'm in Hyderabad, a city in the race to become India's Silicon Valley. It also houses
the top team of cyber cops that claim to have arrested more than 400 people last year for watching and sharing sexually explicit material featuring children. This is their headquarters. Shikha Goyal is the boss here.
Come. So this is our child protection unit. It's a restricted area. Only the people who are allowed to work are allowed to give entry under it. We will go inside, but obviously we will not be able to see the content, what is being examined, because of the reasons of legal requirements. So, yeah.
Okay.
So whatever tip lines are there will come into their screens here, and then they will go through the content and decide whether it needs any further action from your department.
Yes. There are around 12 people. They're working the stage 1. After that, if CSAM is S, we'll get the making a suspect profiles. Based on the leads, we will forward to concerned units and police stations.
If it is a child victim, then we'll get what is the account name, what is the age of the child, what is the IP address that is being used. Same goes to the suspect also. The platform is also mentioned. So if it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever is the ESP platform, we get to know about the platform also with it. What is the most shocking or disturbing thing you found on these platforms around the sale of this material?
One biggest challenge in CSAM is that it is so easily available. We found in one of the cases that on a platform, for as little as 30 rupees, you could get a small clip. You know, many people whom we pick up, whom we arrest, actually sometimes say that is just watching it. How am I a criminal? I have not done it. I have not even met the child. I have not touched the child. I have not done anything.
Who are you able to nab? Is it the person creating this material? Is it the person selling this material?
It is the person who is viewing. So which means it's the customer. First, viewing of CSAM material is an offense. Secondly, because there is a customer, because there is somebody willing to buy this material, is the reason why it is created, right? So it's basically economics. It's a demand and supply thing.
Which is the platform where most consumers of sexually abusive, exploitative material around children are based?
The largest number of tip lines are presently coming to us from Instagram or Facebook. But that does not mean that they may be the largest one. If they have a good algorithm to track child sexual material, then obviously more alerts will be generated.
But just the fact that this material is there on Instagram and Facebook, there definitely needs to be some accountability from the platform also.
So the platform itself is informing, right? Because the tip line is generated by the algorithm created by the platform itself.
So what about ads featuring child sexual exploitative material? Have those been reported to you as well?
I don't think so, that we've seen any of those coming to us as yet. But yes, if that is there, definitely the liability increases. Yeah.
Meta, the parent company of Instagram and Facebook, is identifying CSAM and reporting it to the police. Then why aren't the police seeing the ads that are flooding my Instagram feed? Ads that are featuring the same sexual abuse. Is Meta scanning or reporting content that it gets paid to promote? To find out, I need to understand how Meta's ad business works.
There have to be ads either way because we have to make money and make a profit.
The basic end goal here is any business can come to us, say what their objective is, tell us how much they're willing to pay to achieve those results, connect their bank account, and then we just deliver as many results as we can.
As the business of ads on Meta platforms became increasingly profitable, it also came under scrutiny.
The Wall Street Journal's reporting shows that dozens of ads marketing illegal substances continues to run on both Facebook and Instagram, and those ads steered users to an online marketplace for illegal drugs.
Meta said it works with law enforcement to combat this type of activity.
Upon viewing internal documents from Meta, Reuters reported the company made around $16 billion in revenue by running online ads for scams and banned goods.
Meta said that they're focused on rooting out fraud and scams, and that the documents seen by Reuters present a selective view. But this was not about Meta allowing the promotion of illegal drugs or scams. This was about ads featuring sexual abuse of children. In search of more, I went to India's biggest AI summit in the capital city, Delhi, where Meta stood at the center of the conversation.
Our vision is personal superintelligence. AI that knows you, your goals, your interests, and helps you with whatever you're focused on doing. It serves you, whoever you are, wherever you are.
Meta revealed that if you're selling something as simple as pickle, their AI can find the exact person who's craving it at that very moment. But how are criminals able to exploit Meta's pickle logic to sell sexually explicit material? At the AI summit, I tried to find a source. I needed an insider who could explain the illegal ads on my feed. But Meta runs a tight ship. Finally, I got a breakthrough. After weeks of waiting, I'd received a reply from a former vice president at Meta.
Divya, I don't do a lot of interviews. I'm happy to do some of the testimony and some of the public service work. Your story was so concerning to me that it felt important to me to spend time with you and to help tell this story.
I worked at Facebook for 11 years in a variety of leadership roles, helping to shape product and market strategies for a broad array of products, including advertising, news, video, media, and more. What finally convinced me that it was time to leave was that despite growing evidence that the newsfeed may be causing harm globally, the focus on and investments in safety remained small and siloed.
In 2026, Brian Boland testified against Meta over child safety.
Towards the end, I believed that it was much more focused on numbers and metrics and growth and revenue and helping the company to just grow.
What did you think when I told you that it's prompted me child sexual abuse material and adult pornography as advertisements, something it was selling?
I mean, I was horrified and unsurprised. But Divya, when you saw the content, you reacted in horror. But there is some non-insignificant amount of people who are using the platform in a different way. And if the algorithm can exploit that vulnerability, and it's not like an algorithm that says like, let's make people pedophiles, but because they're not responsibly guiding and controlling it, and it's just pursuing the goals of revenue and clicks, it will create these outcomes if people aren't being truly aggressively protective over these systems.
What is driving ads? Is it an algorithm? And then how does that algorithm work?
At its most basic level, you can think about the algorithm as looking at a whole endless pool of advertising that could be interesting to you. And then it may start to push that and show you something a little bit more extreme, a little bit more tantalizing. It doesn't care. It's an absolutely careless machine.
How do ads get selected? Because it's not like user content that I can just upload without checks and balances.
Yeah, when an advertisement is uploaded into the system, it goes through an automated review process. So there's been an increased reliance on technical solutions. And then some they may put into a human review process. And then people have to review and manually approve those ads.
And how high do these decisions go about how much the algorithm, how strictly it should be monitoring or how loosely it should be monitoring?
For those decisions, it's hard to say exactly who's responsible, but you don't get major decisions made without the most senior people and Adam Mosseri at Instagram or Mark Zuckerberg at Meta knowing about it. Because the company has dramatically underinvested in keeping people safe. And generally, the global South and non-US, non-Europe regions get dramatic underinvestment.
Do you share the blame for creating an ads universe where harmful content like what I have seen can be sold as ads on Instagram?
I think it's for others to decide what I should or shouldn't be blamed for. Data and targeting and the aggregation of data, the surveillance side of it is something that I would look more deeply at if I was going to do it again. What we're saying here is that the stewards of that system have taken it down a path that is not good for people.
So the steward of that system, Mark Zuckerberg, what are his thoughts about the good, bad, and ugly side of the algorithm?
I think what's sad and tragic is over time, the trade-off of revenue and safety or revenue and user experience became a more core part of the conversation. Now, this was in 2009, early 2010. There were a lot of scammy ads on Facebook. I led a project to actually remove all of those ads off the company. But I was allowed to, at the time, remove a massive part of the revenue of the company in the sake of user safety and user experience.
Is that doable in the way the company has shaped up now?
No, if Mark Zuckerberg's in charge, it's not doable.
Listening to Brian talk about the careless machine, I finally understood the path from content creators like Muskan to ads featuring child sex abuse. The algorithm kept pulling me deeper, turning every click into profit. But there was still an important question I hadn't answered. What exactly had these abusers paid Meta to promote? Where did those ads go? What lay at the end of the dark tunnel?
So I'm going to go into my account today. I'm going to wait till an ad comes into it, and there it is.
There's a man with his arm around a girl, and the video says the man is 52 years old, the girl is 12 years old, and then it says click to watch more. I'm going to do that, and it's taking me to Telegram, to a bot, and I can't do this. There's a video of a fully nude woman and a small boy inserting himself into her. I don't want to see anymore. I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to go back to Instagram. There is an ad. It's a still image. It shows an adult woman and a small child, a boy. It's taken me to Telegram, and then it has a menu of what it's offering me. It says everything is Hindi words typed in English. It says mother son, ma beta, father daughter, baap beti, bhai behan, brother sister, desi choti bachchiyan, which probably means Indian small girls. I can see a child, a very small boy, engaging with the bare legs of an adult woman. It's got a lot of videos. Oh my God. I'm going to go back to my feed. I'm going to scroll a bit more and see if another ad comes.
And then cut to wide shot, the hero emerges.
I've got another ad. It shows a 7-8-year-old girl. She has short hair like me. She's crying. She's wiping her tears as if in pain. And there's a text on the ad which says she has been unboxed and reduced to tears with a big weapon. And then it has a watch more tab takes me to Telegram. This is just wrong. It's just not right. All this material out there and so easy to access.
I have reported all these ads and Telegram groups to the Indian authorities. But I couldn't bear the sight of the crying little girl and reported this ad immediately to Meta. It's not just one ad though. Promoting and profiting from child sexual abuse needs to stop. But how? Can Indian laws stop platforms profiting from child abuse? I reached out to one of India's foremost legal minds, retired Supreme Court of India Justice Madan Lokur. It was important I share with him what came on my Instagram feed.
Whatever you have witnessed is obviously very, very disturbing. I mean, nobody that I know of, no country that I know of, accepts child pornography. And if that is, freely available on a social media account that you have created, it's terrible, You are a completely neutral person, I take it. You've been able to locate all this. There could be hundreds of people like you, thousands, maybe millions. There's a serious problem.
Advertisements are paid for, and Instagram is promising the person coming to advertise with them that they will get their content to its consumer and they're earning money from it. How does a social media company then justify these ads?
The platform cannot shirk its responsibility and say that, listen, we can't help it. Well, you better help it, because you are otherwise participating in something which is a criminal activity, where you have ads and videos about child sexual abuse, and the platform is making money out of it. I think it's pretty serious.
So given everything that you have said, is Meta criminally liable for doing this?
Actually, I think under the laws in India, I've not come across any interpretation, which would make them liable, because of the safe harbor principles.
In India, a safe harbor legally protects social platforms from being held liable for user-uploaded content.
But I think we have to look beyond the safe harbor principles and say that, well, you're not doing enough.
So how do we make Meta, how do we make them accountable? How do we make them act?
I think this is a serious enough issue for the Supreme Court of India to take suo motu cognizance. Get the government to act against any social media platform. It is possible. If the government puts its mind to it, puts its heart and will to it, it can certainly, issue blocking orders, it can issue takedown orders.
Justice Lokur had been clear. What I'd discovered was serious enough for the Supreme Court of India to take action. Meta's moderators, however, did not appear to be taking this issue seriously enough. Instagram replied to my comment about the crying 7-year-old girl. The ad, they said, did not violate their guidelines, so it could not be removed. It was shocking. I wanted to find someone at Meta, someone at the top, and ask who is responsible for allowing such ads. And I did exactly that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the MD of Meta, Arun Srinivas.
Arun heads Meta in India, and in his previous role was Director of Ads Business here.
You don't need to worry about who your ad will get served to, whether you should be deciding what the gender of the person is, who buys, where they live, because a lot of that today, thanks to AI, has been automated.
As I was watching Arun celebrate innovations of Meta, I couldn't stop thinking about the crying 7-year-old girl. I had to ask, who can put an end to the horrors of Instagram?
Thank you so much for doing this. Arun, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Arun. Equally a pleasure.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Mr. Srinivas, I'm from BBC and we have discovered that Instagram has got pornography and child sexual abuse videos as ads on its platform, sir. Will you agree for an interview and speak to us about it, sir? Sir, this is causing harm to children in the real world because Instagram is providing a marketplace for it. Sir, you headed the ads business, sir. You were the director before you became head of Meta India, sir. Sir, will you please give us an answer, sir?